To the voters and residents of Lawrence County, I pledge that my courtroom is where you will feel confident in the integrity of the judicial system.
Look around the courtroom. This will be probably the last time you see this many smiling faces in a courtroom.
Please rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable President Judge Dominic Marto presiding, with the Honorable Judge J. Craig Cox, the Honorable Judge Thomas M. Picone, the Honorable Senior Judge Glenn McCracken Jr., the Honorable Chief Federal Magistrate Judge Francis X. Caiazza, the Honorable Senior Judge Ralph D. Pratt, and the Honorable Senior Judge Michael J. Weary.
Please be seated.
Please rise.
I'd like to welcome everyone to this swearing-in ceremony for the county officials who were elected in the November 2005 general election. The individuals being sworn in today are our newly elected Judge John W. Hodge, our newly elected District Attorney John Bongiovango, re-elected for the fourth time as District Judge J.V. Lamb, re-elected for the fourth time David B. Rischel as District Judge, our new District Judge Jerry Cartwright Jr., our new Sheriff Perry L. Quilero, re-elected for the seventh time Register and Recorder Janet Kellajanen, re-elected Joint Commissioner Amy Shea, and re-elected for the fourth time Joint Commissioner Agway Yoho, and of course myself as a retained judge. As I look at the large number of people assembled here today, we have courtroom 1 filled to its capacity and overflowing, and we have TV monitors set up in courtroom 2 and 3 and the jury holding room. I can't help but feel that all of you share a very large sense of excitement about what is happening here today. Of course, there is the excitement of the newly elected individuals who are obviously excited about starting a new career path and looking forward to the challenges that lay ahead, and the excitement of individuals who have been reelected and will have the opportunity to continue the work that they have done. But I also sense that there is excitement from the community at large about what is happening today, because the large number of people being sworn in today carry with them a great amount of experience and competence. And I feel strongly that there is a thought in the air that there are a lot of good things to look forward to in Lawrence County. So I think we all share that excitement today. I want to say how honored I am that the judges who have previously sat in this court as commission judges are here today. Judge McCracken, Judge Pratt, and Judge Caiazza are all judges who I practiced before, and Judge Weary, because I did practice in Mercer County as a practicing lawyer. I did have the pleasure of practicing before all of these judges, and I also had the great pleasure of sitting on the bench with Judges McCracken and Judge Pratt. I didn't have the pleasure of serving on this bench with Judge Caiazza, but that was for the obvious reason that it was his appointment to the federal bench which gave the opportunity for me to become a judge, as I was fortunate enough to fill the vacancy that he left. And of course, Judge Weary, as you know, hails from Mercer County, but he's been here now for nearly 2 years on a regular basis, so I consider Judge Weary our adopted judge, and we're very fortunate to have had him here during this past period of time. It's very timely that they are all here today, because if you haven't noticed, please notice as you leave the courtroom today that we have had the portraits of Judges McCracken, Caiazza, and Pratt added. As you leave the courtroom, you'll see directly across the hall that their portraits are up there, together with Judges Lyons, Henderson, and of course Judge Belf. Those three judges are of course deceased. So we're glad that they're here today all together to see what we've done to have them remembered here in the courthouse. We have dignitaries here today that I would like to at this time acknowledge. We thought we might have Congresswoman Melissa Hart here today, but I understand she is in Iraq, and we know what's going on there, and of course her presence there is very, very understandable. We have State Representative Frank Lagrada, State Representative Chris Sonato. No, is Chris here? No, he is not here. Okay. We have the Chairman of our Lawrence County Board of Commissioners, Dan Vogler, Lawrence County Commissioner Steve Craig. We have our outgoing District Attorney, Matthew Mangino, and I would like to commend Attorney Mangino on the 8 years that he has served the county as District Attorney. I think that he was probably one of the most progressive district attorneys in the state. He was more than a prosecutor. He spoke on the law. He wrote on the law. He instituted many programs that benefited the county that I'm sure Attorney Bongiovango is going to continue with as he goes through his career. So we do commend you for your service. District Justice Samuel Battaglia, now Senior District Judge Battaglia, he's just gone into retirement. And we spoke a little bit today and had a very warm conversation where I had a chance to tell him how much I appreciated his, not just his service as a district judge during the time that I've been here, but also as I practiced before him, how much I thought of him. So his retirement is bittersweet in the sense that we're happy for him, but he was a great district judge, and we wish him much happiness in his retirement, and hopefully still have him around as a senior judge from time to time. District Judge Melissa Modi, District Judge James Reed, and our outgoing Sheriff Robert Clark. And I also want to say to Sheriff Clark how much I enjoyed working with him during my tenure here. He was a gentleman always at all times, and I always had the greatest respect for you. It was great to work with you. And we wish you much happiness in your retirement also. Prothonotary and Clerk of Courts Helen Morgan, Controller Mary Ann Ryder, the Mayor of Newcastle Wayne Alexander, the Mayor of the Borough of New Wilmington Wendell Wagner, our County Coroner Russell Noga, Chairman of the Lawrence County Democratic Party Peter Vasella, and Chairman of the Lawrence County Republican Party Norm DeGidio. So with that, I hope I haven't left anybody out. So, at the request of Judge Hodge, we are going to have a benediction from his pastor. So at this time, I'm going to ask Reverend Dr. Ray Hilton to come forward and offer us the benediction.
Would you join me in prayer? Gracious God, with every opportunity given, we're also held accountable and responsible for what we do with these opportunities. And we're grateful this morning for all of these officials and the awesome responsibility that is now theirs to represent the needs of the people of Lawrence County. We ask now that you would grant to all of them wisdom, grant them courage for the challenges that they would face. We ask that you will continue to equip them and surround them with people who will only make them better. Keep them humble and mindful of their new standing. Instill within them a fresh motivation each day to do the work that they've been called to do. That their minds would always be sharpened, that their spirits would always be enlarged with the great opportunity to serve this community and the myriad of challenges that are before us. We thank you for our community. We thank you for your blessing upon Lawrence County and Newcastle, and we thank you for giving us good and ethical leaders. And most of all, we thank you for living in a great country where we can peacefully and where we can regularly elect the people that we believe will lead us and will serve the best interest of our community. Lord, for all these blessings and more, we offer these to you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Hilton. Next, Jonathan Solomon is the outgoing president of the Lawrence County Bar Association, and he is here to graciously offer us some remarks. Attorney Solomon, thank you.
I'm still the president.
Oh, okay.
A few more weeks.
Okay, I thought
Yep.
maybe it was because the new president coming in,
He's
Attorney
watching
Vinorino, was at Notre Dame. watching
Exactly.
Notre Dame.
Fiesta Bowl. Well, Your Honors, and Your Honors, it's quite a pleasure to see Judge McCracken and Judge Kayaza, Judge Pratt. Of course, I've been seeing a lot of Judge Wary. You're very dignified against the wall. You look like the College of Cardinals. And I want to welcome the elected officials and Mr. Battaglia, Judge Battaglia. I hope to see you on the bench as a senior judge, and congratulate the new and re-elected officials, and particularly Judge Motto. We're very pleased with your retention, but we knew it was going to happen, but we don't take anything for granted. And I also want to welcome the members of Tammany Hall. I was particularly asked to address, however, the remarks to our latest judge, whom Judge Picone will remind you, John, the baby judge, and he's no longer the baby judge. And I would like to address my remarks particularly to John, who will be the newest member of the Court of Common Pleas of Lawrence County. That job is the most dear to the hearts of us at the bar. The highest attribute that a lawyer can bring to the bench as a judge is a quality of character that is called judicial temperament. And what makes up this quality of character are patience and an even temper, open-mindedness and a sense of fair play, courtesy, tact, firmness, understanding, compassion, and humility. And it also requires a keen sense of justice and a recognition that the administration of law and the rights of the parties transcend the judge's personal feelings, his desires, and his personal convenience. And I was particularly pleased, Judge Battaglia, to hear your comments about that the justice is not for the convenience of the court, but should also take into consideration the witnesses, the victims, and the other parties who come before the courts. But of all the lawyers at the Lawrence County Bar, John Hodge, more than any other, possesses the qualities of judicial temperament, and particularly on the one hand, his absence of arrogance, and on the other, his sense of fair play. Over the years, I've had many cases with John, and often as an adversary, for those of you who don't know what that means, an opponent on the other side, and never once did I ever see John treat an opponent or any person with contempt or ever speak ill of them. But he always treated people with a courtesy that was sincere. And I have never once seen John exhibit pride or arrogance, and he has always shown respect for the other side's position and their argument, which is a quality that very few of us lawyers have. And it's our belief in the bar that of all the counselors at the bar in this county, John Hodge is the least likely to grow arrogant with judicial power, and the lawyer most likely among us as judge to remain collegial and respectful of us, his former colleagues. Now, another attribute of judicial temperament is confidence and firmness of purpose. And no one has been more confident in fulfilling his desire to become a common pleas judge than John Hodge. His persistence in running for just this one office is not the naked ambition of a candidate for all seasons. And John does not need, as my father used to say in his inimitable, vulgar way, John does not need to feed off the public tit. But John's persistence arises not alone out of a drive for his personal promotion, but that as a common pleas court judge, he can improve the quality of life for all the people of this county. Now, this past Christmas Day, I saw under the tree at our neighbor's at Christmas Day this sweatshirt, which says, for those of you who can't see it, if at first you don't succeed, quit. Now, that is not one of the temperaments of John Hodge. Because he does not quit, and he has been confident in his devotion to serve the improvement of justice. And we all know that John is a compassionate human being, that he is not the stereotype of the lawyer as shark, and when he's an advocate, he is not the party's attack pit bull. And John has always kept in mind in his dealings as a lawyer that these cases that he has worked on affect the lives of the citizens of Lawrence County, whether they be his friends, his adversaries, but he's always kept in mind that the people that he's dealt with are also his neighbors. And I am sure that he will continue to do so as a common pleas court judge. John has never been a means justify the ends kind of a guy. And I am sure that he is the kind of person who will strive on the bench to do what is right and not what is merely convenient for the system. And John knows that the business of this courthouse is not the mere disposition of cases, but the dispensation of justice. And I'm confident that his work on the bench will embody the philosophy of Edmund Burke, who said, "It's not what a lawyer tells me I may do, but what humanity, reason, and justice tell me I ought to do." And when Edmund Burke searched into his Anglo-Saxon roots, he found the words of Martin Luther, who said, "Hier steh ich kann nicht anders, Gott help mir." Here I stand, I can do no other, God help me. And when Martin Luther searched within his Augustinian friar's heart, he heard the voice of St. Augustine, who said, "Sola fides, sola scriptorum." And when St. Augustine searched within his heart, he heard the Hebrew words of the ancient priestly blessing, "You are Adonai Punam Eliyacha." And John, in those Hebrew words, I give you that blessing. May the Lord make his countenance shine upon your courtroom. Amen.
Thank you very much, Attorney Solomon. Also, I do want to thank the Lawrence County Bar Association. We have a reception planned after this ceremony is over, and in large part that was funded by a very generous donation from the Bar Association, so we do greatly appreciate that. Okay, we're going to proceed on now with the actual swearing in of the officers, and just to give you an idea of our procedure, I'm going to, in just a moment, step down and be sworn in first. I thought that perhaps it might be wise for me to go first since I'm actually presiding. And I'll be sworn in by Helen Morgan, the Prothonotary and Clerk of Courts, and I'll be asking my wife and sons to come forward. I'll ask Jerry Ann to hold the Bible for me while my sons stand also with me as I take that oath. As soon as I'm done, then I'll call forward Wayne Yoho and his wife, and I will administer the oath at his request to Joy Commissioner Yoho. And then I'm going to retake the bench, and Helen Morgan, the Prothonotary, will swear in everybody else. If anyone being sworn in today would like to make any remarks after they're sworn in, please feel free to do so. There is a microphone there at the stand where the Bible is. The remarks I would like to make are this. I certainly greatly appreciate the confidence that the people of Lawrence County have shown in allowing me to continue for another term doing the work that I so much love to do. And I intend to show that appreciation by continuing to do the very best that I know how to do. I made that pledge when I was first appointed as a judge 11 years ago, January of 1995. And at that time, I also made the comment that I planned to do my job with the cooperation of the judges and the lawyers and all the people connected with the court system. And I'd like to say at this time that the cooperation I've had has far exceeded my expectations. No judge, no matter how hard he works, his ability to be successful is limited by the people that he works with every day. And I guess that's the way to put it. I don't think of anybody as working for me as a judge. I think of everybody I deal with every day as working with me. I enjoyed tremendous cooperation from the previous judges I sat with, and I enjoy the same cooperation from the judges that sit with me today, Judge Cox and Judge Picone. It makes coming to work every day an absolute pleasure to have that kind of support. But there are many other people. There are the lawyers who practice before the court. There are the district justices that I work with on a daily basis. All the people in the various departments that are court-related, prothonotary, probation offices, domestic relations offices, and I can't name them all the department heads and all the employees. Mike Acabone is an excellent court administrator, and his staff and our staffs. When I come to work every day, I have the security of knowing that the people who make up my staff have the same goal that I do, to run a courtroom every day that is fair and efficient, and where we all know that we're here to administer justice. So it's an absolute pleasure to come to work every day. I also want to thank my wife, Jerry Ann, and my sons, Dominic, Joey, and Michael. Without your support, I couldn't do what I do every day the way I do it. It is the joy you've given me as a husband and father at times seems to be more than any one man deserves, and I greatly thank you for it. And I thank you for the fact that the way you live your lives enables me to focus. It gives me the peace of mind to come here and focus on what I have to do as a judge every day. So thank you very much. So at this time, I'll step down and I'll ask my family to come forward.
Your Honor, it's a pleasure. Would you please repeat after me? I, Dominic Motto, President Judge,
I, Dominic Motto, President Judge,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
thank you.
Your Honor.
Okay, I'll ask Mr. Yoho to come forward with Betty. If you'll come forward.
Pardon?
Okay, if you'll place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, A. Wayne Yoho,
I, A. Wayne Yoho,
Jury Commissioner of Lawrence County,
Jury Commissioner of Lawrence County,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge
and that I will discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations. Okay, we will next have the oath administered to Jury Commissioner Amy Shea, if you'll come forward.
Would you place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand, please? Repeat after me. I, Amy Shea.
I, Amy Shea.
It's Amy Elizabeth Shea, I beg your pardon.
Okay.
Jury Commissioner of Lawrence County.
Jury Commissioner of Lawrence County.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge
and that I will discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my
with
office
fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations. You signed here.
Okay, next is Registrar and Recorder Janet Kalajanen.
Janet, if you raise your right hand. I, Janet L. Kalajanen,
I, Janet L. Kalajanen,
Register and Recorder,
Register and Recorder,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge
and that I will discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity. Thank you.
It's a pleasure, Dan. Is your husband going to give you a kiss, huh? God bless you here, Jan. Okay.
Next, our new Sheriff, Perry L. Colero.
Okay, put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me. I, Perry Quilero,
I, Perry Quilero,
Sheriff of Lawrence County,
Sheriff of Lawrence County,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
There you are,
Thank you.
honey. Congratulations.
Next is District Judge J.V. Lamb.
Again. Ought to have it memorized.
The other way.
I'm as bad as the people come in my court.
Repeat after me, please. I, J.V. Lamb,
I, J.V. Lamb,
Magisterial District Judge,
Magisterial District Judge,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations, Your
Oh,
Honor.
thank you. She's saying behind every good man is a good woman, and I have to admit it.
There you go. Congratulations.
Next is District Judge David B. Rischel.
Oh, you do that after you swear in. Go ahead. Stand. Raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me. I, David B. Rischel,
I, David B. Rischel,
Magisterial District Judge,
Magisterial District Judge,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this
and
Commonwealth,
that I will discharge the duties of my office
and I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Here you are, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Right hand.
Thank you.
Now, what's this? You should be thankful. He needs it.
Don't do it with the jacket. Thank you.
District Judge Jerry Cartwright Jr.
Raise your right hand, please. I, Jerry G. Cartwright Jr.,
I, Jerry G. Cartwright, Jr.,
Magisterial District Judge,
Magisterial District Judge,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
and that I will discharge the duties
of my office
of my
with
office
fidelity.
with fidelity.
There you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next is our new District Attorney, John Bongivengo.
You want to hold the Bible for Daddy?
Mommy will hold you.
I, John J. Bongivengo,
I, John J. Bongivengo,
District Attorney of Lawrence County,
District Attorney of Lawrence County,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this
and
Commonwealth,
that I will discharge the duties
and that I will discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
I tried, honey. Thank you. Good luck. Congratulations, honey.
And next, our newly elected judge, John W. Hodge.
Over here, okay.
Please raise Raise your right hand. I, John W. Hodge,
I, John W. Hodge,
Judge of the Common Pleas of Lawrence County,
Judge of the Common Pleas of Lawrence County,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
There you are, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay.
Judge Hodge will invite you to take your seat on the bench at this time and offer any remarks you have.
If it please the court, Judge Motto, Judge Cox, Judge Picone, Judge McCracken, Judge Kayaza, Judge Pratt, and Judge Wary, honorable elected officials and dignitaries, family and friends, I'm extremely honored at the privilege that the voters of Lawrence County have given to me to become a member of the distinguished bench of Lawrence County. It is rare in one's life that one receives an opportunity to work alongside individuals who are also considered friends. I've known Judge Motto since he introduced himself to me when I was a first-year law student at the University of Akron Law School in the fall of 1972. We've been good friends since as students, working together as young attorneys. We've tried cases together and as adversaries. I've had the opportunity then to practice before him during his first term on his bench. And constant throughout these times has been the big smile, the good nature, regardless of the situation, be it good or bad. Judge Cox came to the bar several years after I did. We became friends, worked together for a period of time, and then our offices were later next door neighbors on Wilmington Road. It always seems that we had numerous transactions going on at the same time, during which we were able to work very well together, and I look forward to doing so in the future. The same with Judge Picone. We became friends early on in my practice. It seemed like we always had a lot of things going together in business or municipal transactions, and again, we worked well together. I look forward and am very excited about this opportunity to work and learn from each of you in this new capacity. I'd like to thank retired President Judge McCracken, United States Magistrate Judge Kayaza, retired Judge Pratt, and Judge Wary for attending today's ceremony. I've learned different aspects of litigation work from each of you, and I'm sure that as my judicial style develops, that I will adopt some portion of my style from each of you. In addition, I need to thank various individuals for this opportunity. My wife Sharon has been with me all the way. Her loving manner, gracious style, and organizational skills were crucial to my success in the election. Then my son, when I first considered running, I think Mike was there and said, go for it. I mean, as a teenager, that was his quick response was go for it. And I've had unlimited support from my brother, sister, and others in this endeavor. My longtime friends from the old neighborhood were crucial in many ways in its success, as have friends I've made as an adult. I'm also grateful for new friends who brought into my election campaign new skills, new thoughts, and including reminders from individuals that if I wanted it bad enough, if it meant enough to me, that I could stand on my head for 7 weeks if necessary. And that was one thing that during the course of the election helped my motivation. And to all these persons, I'm forever indebted and grateful. To my federal judges, I pledge to you my integrity, my honor, and my intellect. To the members of the Lawrence County Bar Association, my door will always be open to you regardless of the nature or complexity of the case, and I will strive to remember where I came from, that I've been in your shoes and place, and I will remember the difficulties that come with litigation and with clients. To the voters and residents of Lawrence County, I pledge that my courtroom is where you will feel confident in the integrity of the judicial system, where you can litigate your grievances with your knowledge that your case will be resolved in accordance with the applicable law. Even though my parents are not here today, They are here in spirit. I would not be here without their encouragement and fact, their insistence that my sister and brother and I were going to be educated and be successful in our chosen field. When I was 14, my father informed me on an early summer day that I had a job the next day, starting working for my Uncle Wes, who is here with me today, on his farm, and then my bicycle would be the way that I would get there and back. And I learned from my uncle the value of hard work and persistence, the values which have served me well, and I also then had the benefit of always having money in my pocket and a car while in high school. And I would like to thank my uncle for showing up here today for this. As a young lawyer, I was also fortunate to work with Richard Audino and Judge Motto in their private law office. I was taught and I learned from Dick how things were to be done and what was required of a lawyer in order to be successful. And as I've matured as a lawyer, I've enjoyed the intellectual challenges of being a friend of Mr. Audino. And as the guys from the Hudson Lunch Table will attest, I have received the benefit of the not-so-subtle lessons in life that were thrown in as well. And hopefully, Dick, you're proud of the things that Judge Motto and I have been able to accomplish. I'd like to congratulate the other individuals here today on their election or re-election, and wish each of you and your families the very best. And I'd again like to thank each one of you for attending today's ceremony. I'm very honored and humbled by your presence. Thank you.
Judge Hodge, look around the courtroom. This will be probably the last time you see this many smiling faces in a courtroom. Everyone will be happy with you to make your first decision tomorrow. I'd like to congratulate all the persons who are sworn in today. Wayne and Amy, you do an excellent job and help us so much in the jury system. We appreciate that. Jan, I think that my entire legal career you've been register and recorder. So I think that shows the confidence the public has in you. Everything. District Justice Lamb and District Justice Rischel, I've practiced in front of you and also get now to serve on the bench with you. And the public has done well returning you to your positions. You do an excellent job, both of you. District Judge Cartwright, District Attorney Bonjavingo, Sheriff Colero. During the campaign, frequently the three of you would be in my courtroom, and I saw how tired you were. So I knew you were working hard, and I know all three of you will bring that same hard work ethic and all the capabilities you have to your offices, and the county will do well with you. I'd also like to thank our senior judges, Judge McCracken, Federal District Magistrate Kayaza, Judge Pratt, Judge Weary for attending today. As Judge Hodge said, when you develop your judicial philosophy and your judicial style, you take from your background, from how you practice law, but also from the judges you appeared in front of. You take part of their styles and things that they did. And I know all of them have influenced me, and I appreciate that and thank them for all the work when I appeared in front of them and for putting up with me for some of the things I probably did in the courtroom. I'd also like to congratulate President Judge Motto on his retention. He's an excellent judge. He's an excellent president judge. He's been my mentor really since I've been on the bench. Sometimes he probably thinks I spend as much time in his chambers as he does. But he's always been so helpful to me, and I appreciate that and congratulate you. Welcome to the bench, Judge Hodge. How's that sound?
That sounds good. Real good. Thank you.
As Judge Hodge said, we met when I first began practicing law. For a while, we worked in the district attorney's office together. We shared Wilmington Road address right next door to each other for a number of years. We had an awful lot of transactions occur between clients of ours that we had dealings with frequently. Throughout that time, I got to know Judge Hodge. He has excellent people skills. He's very pleasant to work with, always professional, very honest, very competent. All those skills will serve him well on the bench. So, Judge Hodge, I welcome you. You're going to be a great addition to the bench, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
I need to share some personal thing. There's an overwhelming urge that you feel when you have this many people captive, and knowing that number 2 and courtroom number 3 are also captive, and I could go on and on. But out of deference to time and to respect all of you, this is a proud moment for our community. My remarks are short. I want to welcome Judge Hodge. He said it best maybe in a very short phrase. We are all friends. I think we are, hopefully, by the grace of God, all capable jurists, and will do our job well. I want to again congratulate my friend Judge Motto, as it was alluded to by our friend Attorney Solomon. We knew it was going to happen, but it's never over till the fat lady sings, as they say. Our county is blessed that we have the colleagues that I now have that serve on this bench. And it was a thought that just came to me, John and Craig, that it was about how many years? 6 years? 5 years? We all were at a starting point together, and now we've come. It's taken us, some of us, longer than others to get here, but we're all here together, and I thank God for that. I want to just speak in a very short general term of this. I want to wish you all a happy new year. In this room, we have many elected officials of our county and our city. There, you're going to be embarking, some of you already have, some new coming in, to a wonderful professional opportunity here. I'd just like to remind you and leave you with this. Number one, let's remember in our thoughts and prayers always the men and women in our military and the many others who sacrifice so that we can enjoy this celebration that we have here today. And I also want to call to mind that we are all public servants, and we are here, as was alluded to before, remarks of Judge Battaglia's comment. We are here to serve the public, and let's remember that and do our job. Congratulations to you all there. This is a fine day for our county. Thank you.
First of all, I want to recognize former State Representative Thomas Fee. I just realized that he's in the audience here. Also served as county commissioner also, so we're glad to see him here today. I want to congratulate everyone who was elected and re-elected today. It's impressive, the experience and competency that all of you bring to public office. But I also want to congratulate not just yourselves, but your family and your friends who have supported you in your efforts to become elected, particularly with those of you who had contested elections. I vividly recall the work that goes into a hotly contested election, and it's the type of thing you don't do yourself. You do it with the support of your family and your friends and all of your supporters. And I've been looking around the room, and many of your families I know personally, and I can just see the pride in their faces and in their hearts. So the congratulations go out to them also. I can remember when I was campaigning, somebody was telling me, they said, hey, I just saw, my son Michael at that time was about 3 years old. Someone told me, hey, I just saw your wife on a Wilmington Road. She had a hammer in one hand pounding a sign, and she was holding on to Michael with the other. So that's the kind of commitment I know that it takes. So all of you and your families and friends all deserve to be congratulated. I want to thank Wayne Yoho and Amy Shea for your work as jury commissioners. We have jury trials 2 weeks a month, and if it wasn't for the excellent work that you do in making sure that that group of jurors were here each time as we need them, we couldn't do the job we do as judges if you didn't do your jobs to get those people here, not to mention all the efficiencies that you've brought to the office. Jan, I still remember the first day I ever met Jan, and it was in the recorder's office. I was a law clerk. I'm going to back, it's about 1972 or 1973, and Jan must have been just out of high school. And the firm of Dick Audino and Ed Ray brought me to the courthouse to show me what title searching was all about. And Jan was there working in the office, and she's had a brilliant career since then. It's not just 7 terms, but it's 34 years because she worked in that office before she ran for it. So she brings 34 years of experience in that office. And in those days, it was lugging around heavy books, but because of Jan's ability to be innovative, she's brought technology to the office. So it's much different today, and to her credit, she's done a wonderful job of developing that office. Perry Calero, you know, when he was campaigning, I remember a cold January about a year ago at a very poorly attended church breakfast, and Perry showed up with his wife. And I think at that time he might have been considered an underdog in the election. But when I saw him there with maybe a half a dozen people at this breakfast with he and his wife campaigning, I thought to myself, you know what, I'll bet he's going to win. And I was right. I thought that to myself. So you did everything the way it's supposed to be done. But more than that, Perry's been a deputy sheriff, so I've seen him do his job. I know he knows the job, and I know he's going to make a great sheriff, and I look forward to working with him. I'm very proud of J.V. Lamb and David Rischel and their re-election bids. I've said before, I think we have one of the greatest district judge systems anywhere in the state, and all of the people who work in these offices and hold these positions do a great job, and I know that they'll continue to do a great job. And the fact that they have been reelected for their 4th time shows what their constituents think of them, and rightfully so. And I look forward to continue to working with them. Jerry, you know, Jerry was a legal intern for me when he was in law school. Now, legal interns aren't paid, and I thought that he would be pretty good, because I thought to myself, anyone who would work so hard for nothing had to have something good going for them. So I knew he truly loved the law. I loved what he was doing, and I looked forward to great things from him. And as he graduated from law school and began to practice, he served the court as contract conflicts counsel very ably and has a good civil practice. He has a solid base in the knowledge of the law and what it takes to be a good lawyer and a good judge. He's hardworking and ethical, and I know that he is going to be a credit to his new position. As to John Bongivengo, I can still remember the first day I ever saw John Bongivengo in court, in his first day as an assistant district attorney. He was an eager young attorney, ready, willing, and wanting to learn. And I've watched him progress over the years into a very fine trial lawyer. He spent several years as an assistant district attorney, and then he moved over as a public defender, and he's become very accomplished in what he is able to do. And I think that what is significant about him is that the fact he's worked on both sides of the fence, so to speak, as a prosecutor and as a defense attorney, is going to be a great credit to him, because he really understands how the system is supposed to work. He understands the importance of building good relationships with everyone involved with the criminal law system. And I think he's going to be a very able and efficient district attorney, and I very much look forward to working with him. Now, as to Judge Hodge, I will say that I think that I am in a very good position to evaluate the ability that he will have to be a good judge. It's not just that he practiced law before me as I sat as a judge, and it's not just that we, being about the same age, also practiced before the bar at about the same time. And it's not just that we spent about 3 years together out of law school practicing together in the same law firm with our mentor, Dick Audino and Ed Ray. And it's not just that, but it's also that we were classmates in law school, and in fact roommates for 1 year in law school, and we were both undergraduates at the University of Pittsburgh. So I think with all of that, I think I'm relatively qualified to speak to what can be said about John Hodge as a judge. And so I will say this: he is competent, he is ethical, he is honest, and he is hardworking. And I think he carries with him the perfect judicial temperament that it takes to be a judge. And I think that he will be a true credit to the bench in his service as a judge. And I think that what is also important, as because of the history that we have and that we all have with each other, I think he's going to be a true complement to the bench that we have. We are truly all friends, and we all respect each other as professionals, and we all bend over backwards to try to help each other out. And I think John's going to fit in perfectly with that mindset that we have all going for us, and I think all of that's going to greatly benefit this county. So with that, this will conclude these proceedings. As I mentioned, we do have a reception planned down on the ground floor of the courthouse. Everyone is invited to attend, and I thank you all for attending. I think it is a very exciting time for this county, and we'll ask that a recess be declared.
Please rise. This court is now in recess.